Welcome inside Memorial Field here in East Grand Rapids. I'm Matt Gajtka. This is East Grand Rapids Boys Lacrosse, the 12-time state champs, back in action tonight with a record of 3-3 as they open OK Conference play against the Forest Hills Northern Huskies. Forest Hills Northern coming in with a record of 4-2. Should be a great one this evening. We're getting ready for action. The ball about to be placed down at midfield in just a couple of minutes. We've got the national anthem, though, coming up here. So stay with us. Thanks for watching on YouTube tonight. Be right back with you with the start of the game.
National anthem to honor past soldiers and heroes, along with currently enlisted soldiers and all of our local officers and first responders.
Last year, East Grand Rapids went 5-1 in the OK Tier 1 League. Second in the league, only to Forest Hills Central. Meanwhile, the Huskies, visitors today, went 1-5 last season. But like I mentioned, Forest Hills Northern off to a 4-2 start. Only one common opponent on the schedule so far between these two teams, and that was Detroit Country Day. Both of these teams lost to Detroit Country Day. East Grand Rapids played them closer. It was a 12-9 decision back before spring break on the road in favor of Country Day against East Grand Rapids. Against Forest Hills Northern, Country Day had a 14-7 win, and that was here in Grand Rapids. So you can probably tell from that we're looking at two teams pretty close in terms of how they've played so far this season. There you see the Pioneers out on the field at midfield getting ready for the pregame meeting with the captains for Forest Hills Northern. The Huskies dressed in the light blue with the white helmets tonight. East Grand Rapids wearing the home white uniform tops with the blue and gold trim as usual. It's a warm night but a windy night. The wind blowing straight in off of Reeds Lake. So that means it's coming from the northeast. We're looking at a little bit of a change in weather coming over the next couple of days. Some rain tomorrow, but for tonight we should be free and clear and should be a great night to play, in fact. The wind should help keep things cool as it's been kind of warm for this time of year the last 2 days. EGR coming off of a 12-9 loss to Heartland this past Saturday. We did not have that broadcast for you. Technically a home game, but EGR was forced to play due to field availability at Forest Hills Central. In that game, several Pioneers picked up a couple of goals. Glenn Green, Sam Zykowski, also Charlie Hookstra in his second game back from injury. He scored in the game against Cranbrook Kingswood, an 11-7 win, our first broadcast of the season here. Thanks again to Reed and McIntosh for firing up the camera for us tonight, and Scott Stropke for setting everything up as far as logistics are concerned. We're set to go with Ian McKeegan on draw duty as usual. McKeegan leaning down. The referee places the ball on the turf. The whistle sounds, and off we go. OK conference play has begun with the Huskies in possession of the ball, and that'll be Benny Hall running into the attacking end. It's in behind the net. From back there, J.P. McGinnis looking to toss it out in front. He's being watched closely by Luke Stark. Stark, the long stick midfielder, as listed on the roster. An errant pass by the Huskies. It eluded the reach of Eli McCauley. And the Pioneers get the ball. James Wiener will control. Lift it toward the middle. McKeegan cutting toward the near sideline. Ran into resistance there. 3 Huskies in his way. Now he's going to try to burrow his way out of trouble. And a timeout has been called right away by East Grand Rapids, just 44 seconds in. So a quick discussion here for head coach Kyle Ozapoff, KO as they call him. Like I mentioned, he's got his Pioneers at 3-3 as we enter conference play. For the most part, the rest of the way, it'll be conference play for East Grand Rapids. Forest Hills Northern in its most recent game beat DeWitt 20-3. Also victories for FHN this year at Battle Creek Lakeview by an 11-5 score. They beat Grand Rapids Christian on the road 19-6, and they edged Hazlet to start the season back in late March 10-8. Wins so far for EGR: East Lansing 13-2, at Mona Shores 16-8, and like I mentioned, just this past Friday, in fact, Cranbrook Kingswood was a victim of the Pioneers 11-7. Prior to that, the Pioneers lost a close one on the road, 16-14. That was last Thursday at Grand Rapids Catholic Central. The Cougars are unbeaten so far at 6-0, so we'll keep an eye on them in Division II. Getting into the attacking end are the Pioneers, and they set up shop. Hoekstra backpedaling out near the 40-yard line by the football marks. Ruppert, the senior, lobs it over near side. Oliver Owen, 5 goals against Cranbrook Kingswood a couple of games ago. From behind the goal, that's Bennett Winkle in his usual position. He hands it off for returning Gavin Buck. Buck whips a shot. He scores. Follow a ripper from Buck, and it's 1-0 Pioneers. 10:33 to go in the first. So Buck's on the board with an unassisted tally. And a good start for EGR. They defend well, don't give up a shot. And they come right down, throw it around the horn, and Buck takes care of business. Gavin Buck had 3 goals and an assist against Cranbrook Kingswood. He's well over 20 on the year. Buck did not score against Heartland, which was a surprise. He was averaging nearly 5 goals per game prior to that. Off the face-off, and again, picked up on the move by Benny Hall of Forest Hills Northern. So the Huskies will run that same offensive set at least to start. They'll try it to the right wing side and back out high now to Simon Hall. He waits for a substitution. He's checking in as Owen Butler, the midfielder, number 1 in blue. It's given over to Cooper Clark. Clark working here against Stark. Threw it toward the middle. Quick stick and a score. 1-1. Just like that. Simon Hall on the backside. And the Huskies have an answer. Just about a minute after, East Grand Rapids took a 1-0 lead.
Number 4, Simon Hall with a Huskies goal.
Simon Hall off the assist from Butler, I believe, with 9:59 to go in the first quarter. McKeegan on the draw again versus Hall. Hall pulls it back, and he's got control again. That's 3 consecutive face-off wins for Forest Hills Northern. Hall fights off a stick check. Meanders into the middle, and foul called against him. That'll be a turnover. And the Pioneers take it. Sam Zykowski, his first touch of it. Here he comes. Into the box, backing out, waiting as Stropke comes off the bench. He receives this. Protecting is Stropke. Glenn Green trying to give him an option. Instead, the ball's played over to Oliver Owen. Owen, the left-hander, to Stropke. And Green. Green, Stropke, and Owen playing catch. Stropke with a dodge and a shot. And where's the ball? It's at the side of the net. Good save there by Noah DeYoung. Or actually, excuse me, it is Elliot Skolton. Skolton gets the start. I saw DeYoung taking a lot of shots in the warm-up, but it is Skolton getting the start for Forest Hills Northern. He gets his first save on the shot from Stropke on the drive toward goal. Loose ball in the Pioneers' end. Off the grounder. No one has it yet. And the Huskies take control. Trying to flip a pass in front was Benny Hall. Couldn't get it there. And the Pioneers have it right back. Stark bouncing one up through the midfield. And eventually scooped on the second attempt by TJ Silvernail. Silvernail dropped it, picked it right back up. Huskies on the attack. And a loose ball back out at midfield, out near the midfield stripe. Owen Butler settles things down with 8:14 to go in the first quarter. Minimal stoppages so far, just a goal for each side. Butler looking to slide a ball into the middle, as he had what appeared to be Alex Waycamp open, but he flashed back to the middle as Clark will take the shot, and that save is made. Good stop there by Quinn Irwin. He's got his first save on the board, and bodies collide out near the sideline. And what's the call? It'll be Forest Hills Northern ball. Stark trying to pick up that turnover. Couldn't quite get there in time. So the Huskies take it right back. Clark. 7:30 left in the first. Half-hearted attempt at a drive toward goal there. Will Zykowski headed him off. Butler to the middle. Waycamp had his attempt to pick up that ball interrupted. The Pioneers trying to get on this one. It's up in the air. Weiser got a stick on it. So did Ruben Icaria. And just inside the sideline, scooped up on the move by J.P. McGinnis, but handed over to East Grand Rapids. On the whistle and the stoppage, Stark, the trigger man, with McGinnis pressuring hard. Stark will go to his keeper. That's Quinn Irwin. Running due north with this. And a good pass up ahead as the Pioneers complete the clear. Green, Owen on the near touchline. Owen looking back as Dylan Buck checks into the game, as does Ethan Fifley. Owen, little move to the inside. He's got some room, about 10 yards out from goal. Took the nifty little shot. He bounced it wide. It'll skip out over the end line. Pioneer ball. 6:25 left in the first. Clock still running. Winkle, leading assist man for East Grand Rapids so far. Back out to the top. Sam Zykowski to Fifley, and Sam Zykowski once more. The running start. Zykowski loads and fires and scores. 2-1. EGR. Sam Zykowski unassisted goal.
Sam Zykowski, unassisted for the Pioneers.
6:07 left in the first. And the Pioneers' offense looking efficient so far. Couple of possessions, couple of goals.
Imaging Center, Imaging Solutions for Patients.
Thank you for joining in once again on YouTube as we have East Grand Rapids Lacrosse for you. EGR will be hosting Forest Hills Eastern on Thursday. We won't have that game, but we will have next Tuesday's contest against Granville right here at the stadium. Another okay Tier 1 game. This face-off controlled by EGR. So now they can try to take a multi-goal lead. Trotting in behind the net, Brogan Bernard. He and Winkle there in tandem. Bounced pass. Winkle, can he keep it in? He did not. It's a turnover. So East Grand Rapids squanders that chance, and the Huskies will take it right back. Coming out of their own end, Harrison Bailey lobs it across. And some room to run for Forest Hills Northern. That was Stewart dumping it into the middle. And getting into the box, Simon Hall. Here he comes, some room there. 15 yards from goal. Dropped it back instead. Ike DeHaan dodges, looks to shoot. Can't get any room there against Luke Stark, who shut it down. Simon Hall. Giving below the goal line. Over to McGinnis. McGinnis against Stark. McGinnis passing toward the middle. It's caught, but now knocked out of the stick and right into the waiting basket of Quinn Irwin. The Pioneers just collapsed there and took away what could have been an offensive opportunity. Bernard got run over by McCauley, and legally, as play continues on, and the Huskies take control of the ball. Waycamp, near side, Clark, big shot, and Bernard blocked that high into the air. Irwin chasing well out of his goal, and not going to be able to get there in time, as McGinnis was first to the end line, or closest to the end line, so he'll get possession on the deflected shot. 4:30 and ticking to go in the first quarter. 2-1 East Grand Rapids here from Memorial Field. Eli McCauley, the attacker for Forest Hills Northern. Getting worked over there by the stick of Hoekstra. McCauley gets a step, though, works his way inside. Stark blocked that shot, and it goes out to the far sideline. Again, good work from Luke Stark. Had a couple of goals against Heartland. More known for his defending, though. EGR fell 12-9 in their most recent outing, getting them back to 500. Wild shot. That goes way over the goal, but I think Hoekstra was just called for a personal foul there on the shot attempt by Cooper Clark. And the Pioneers will swap in some fresh legs. James Wiener back in. Jack Bennett checking into the game, but the Pioneers are going to be down a man for a minute as Hoekstra will have to serve the penalty. Saw the flag come up. Two to 1 EGR. Goals so far by Gavin Buck and Sam Zykowski. Simon Hall, quick stick in front for Forest Hills Northern. It's been their only score so far. Clock winding, 3:55 to go in the first quarter. Butler, open for a shot was Hall. Back to Butler, bounced it well wide, and it stays with the Huskies. J.P. McGinnis, also a hockey player for Forest Hills Northern and Eastern. Dishes it out high, goes around to Clark, and now Hall thought about a shot. Clark. Hall again. Pump fake. Clark. Man up attack for Forest Hills Northern for the moment. Down low, McGinnis. Into the middle. A shot bounced in off the post by Ike DeHaan. Tie game. Forest Hills Northern, with a cheer from the far side visitors supporters section, has leveled it on a man-up goal with 3:24 left before the break.
Number 8, Ike DeHaan for the Huskies. It's their second goal on the board. Tie it up.
Precision shot for Forest Hills Northern.
2-2.
And they move the ball well there against the shorthanded Pioneers defense. And the all-important face-off coming up on the East Grand Rapids logo right at midfield. The drop of the ball, the whistle sounds, and East Grand Rapids takes control of this one. Will Zykowski. Dish it in behind the net with that long stick. Over to Bennett Winkle, the attackman. To the far wing, Gavin Buck. Buck might have had a step there against Stewart and thought differently of it. Buck dodging, getting body position. Now looking for a man open in the middle, perhaps. Couldn't get it through to Owen. Instead, he'll work it out high. Hoekstra going 1v1. Now he's into the area, and he wrists it on goal, and it's stopped. It was off the stick of Skolton, bouncing toward the end line, and Winkle takes it there. Hoekstra, who just let that shot go. Now he tries to stuff on a reaching shot, and he missed that. It bounces all the way to the far corner. Again, EGR in possession. Again, it'll be Winkle. 2.5 to go in the first quarter. So Hoekstra's tried the traditional shot. He's tried to use his reach in close. Winkle maneuvering free. Ruppert to Stropke. Back to Ruppert. They play catch. Just outside the box. Now back into the box with Owen. Owen to Stropke, 2:14 left. Long feet across. Ruppert thinking about a move. Now he'll lay it off. Hoekstra shooting, and a stick save. And a gather by Elliott Skolton. But turned over. Here's a chance, and over the top from Buck. Oh, my. The Pioneers were all over Skolton. He couldn't move the ball. They'll keep possession, will EGR, but just missing was their sniper Buck. Ruppert and Hoekstra again from the left flank. Gets through the stick check from Rowan Grant. Hoekstra turning, feeding, over to Stropke on a couple of passes. He scores! Owen Stropke from inside 10 yards buries it for a 3-2 lead.
Assist by number 6, Ben Rupert.
Rupert gets the assist. I was calling him Ruppert. I apologize. Ben Rupert. And once again, EGR has a 1-goal lead. Back and forth we go. We thought this would be a close game, and so far living up to the billing. Just 93 seconds remaining before the end of the first quarter. We've seen both teams show good poise and patience on the attacking side of things. McKeegan digs in against Benny Hall. Ball on the ground. Ross wiped out his man for EGR, but Hall eventually picks it up for Forest Hills Northern. Here he comes, running right for the goal. Hall all the way, swiped off his stick by Wiener, and Irwin flags it down, and Irwin bursts out of his own end, feeding it ahead. Oliver Owen turns the corner. Owen passing, looking for Winkle right here on the near side on the front door, but deflected away from him and just barely out. It'll stay with East Grand Rapids. 57 seconds to go in the first quarter. Clock continues to run. No, it stops on the substitution. Now it's running again. Down to 50 seconds. Owen settles and gives to Glenn Green. Green to Gavin Buck. Buck near side. Brody Weiser getting a chance to shoot and handcuff the goalkeeper Skolton, but still free back out in front, and they score. Glenn Green. Beautiful play on the regather of the rebound. And the Pioneers have their first 2-goal lead of the game with just 32 seconds to go in the first.
Assisted by number 25, Ben Winkle.
Winkle gets his first assist of the night.
For the Pioneers, 32 seconds left.
And so the Pioneers make some order from that chaos and put another one on the board. Well, already matching their goal total from the first half of their previous home game against Cranbrook Kingswood. That was just 4-1 at the half. The Pioneers controlled that first half, but then Cranbrook Kingswood came back with 4 in a row after the break, only to watch EGR score 7 straight to run away with that win. Win number 3 on the year. They still sit at 3 victories. DeHaan with 18 seconds, firing, might have caught a piece of the post, perhaps off of Irwin as well, the keeper. And Irwin, great hustle to get to that end line and convince the official that the Pioneers should have the ball, but then Irwin lobs the pass too far over the head of Sam Zykowski, out of bounds far side. 15 seconds left. The Huskies will get one more try before the buzzer. McGinnis, number 13 in baby blue, dropped it back. DeHaan, a shot. Easy save by Irwin. He had it measured the whole way, and he'll rifle it the length of the field as we hear the buzzer sounding, ending the first quarter of play. Your score, 4-2, East Grand Rapids. 4 different goal scorers for the Pioneers. Buck Zykowski, that's Sam Zykowski, Owen Stropke, and Glenn Green just in the final minute. 2 goals in the last 93 seconds for the Pioneers. Allows them to take the lead. We'll take a short break and bring it back to Memorial Field for the second quarter. Stay with us right here on YouTube. Second quarter on tap. Pioneers lead at 4-2. I'm Matt Gajtka here from Memorial Field in EGR. And again, it's been good work so far from Benny Hall winning the faceoffs for Forest Hills Northern. But no, a turnover, a foul committed in the midfield. Pioneers get the first crack at it for real here in the second quarter. 11:52 to go before the half. Solid start for the Pioneers, trying to build some momentum as they start okay conference play here in Tier 1. Last year they went 5-1 with their only loss in league play to Forest Hills Central. They went 6-0. Rambling into the box was Zykowski. Dropped it back. He was fouled on the way. Still free, though. Zykowski picked up. What a spin move and a shot and a save. Oh, my, that would have been a highlight reel goal for Sam Zykowski. He was elusive there. But a good stop from Skolton in net for Forest Hills Northern. However, the Huskies are going to go short a man here on the foul committed by Rowan Grant. 30-second penalty here, so the Pioneers have to work quick on the man-up offense. Buck's going to start with it. That's Gavin Buck. He and brother Dylan, both on the varsity squad this year. Both of them got on the board against Cranbrook Kingswood last time out. Green, Stropke, back to Glenn Green. Stropke skips it on over. Buck a shot. Save made by Skolton, and it bounces free. Scooped up off the turf by Harrison Bailey. And that might be all it takes to kill the rest of that penalty time. Bailey rushing up into the attacking end of the field, off to Butler. And the clear is complete for Forest Hills Northern. Ready to check in there, Cooper Clark, and the Huskies are back to full and even strength. 10:47 remaining in the second quarter. Hall on the trot against Bernard and company. Hall, not a lot of room, so he gave it on to Butler. Back out high, Cooper Clark. And Butler, number 1 in blue. Dumped it below the goal. McGinnis took the shot. He scored as he came right out in front. And it bounced in and out of the netting. But it was a goal. It does count. McGinnis strikes for the Huskies. First goal of this second quarter. And the visitors remain pesky right on the tails of the Pioneers. 4-3. 10:23 left in the second. Unassisted goal for J.P. McGinnis. And again, McKeegan against Hall. McKeegan trying to turn the tables after a tough first quarter on the face-off. Overall this year, he's done quite well, has McKeegan. Tenacious on the battle, and a foul called from the referee on the far side. That'll give the face-off win to McKeegan and company. Both he and Jack Bennett check out. The Pioneers go to work with the ball. Dylan Buck. Dylan Buck, the sophomore. Probing, passing right out in front of the crease and scooped up without much trouble by the keeper Skolton. Up ahead it goes. Clark spun around. Took a bump but bounced it cleanly into the attacking end for McGinnis, the most recent goal scorer. No repeat scorers in this game. 7 goals, 7 different guys responsible for those. And also 3 assists by 3 different players. So we have 10 players on the scoreboard. Score sheet already. Bouncing chance by Owen Butler. That missed about a foot outside the post. Huskies keep it. And they come out of the corner with it. McGinnis lost control to his opposite number, Luke Stark. They hack and whack, and the long stick of James Weiner controls. Throwing it up on the near side. He's got a man open, and the pass is caught by Mo Mayer. First touch of the game. Mayer fends off a couple of swings from behind by Butler, and the Pioneers can set up shop now. Good work from Mayer on the sprint. Winkle tried to pass into the middle. That's broken up. Still loose, though. Hall lost control. Winkle has it. 15 yards from goal. Thought about a shot, and he gets whacked from behind there. Chopped on the arm, says the referee, or on the glove. Legal play. Turned over, though. Right back over to Dylan Buck. And the Pioneers just want to take the air out of the ball for a second, gather their thoughts. Hoekstra, 8.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Hoekstra eludes a couple of Huskies, but his shot bounced right in front of him. Might have had that stick interrupted. Then Stewart couldn't clear for Forest Hills Northern. Whacked down to the ground by Dylan Buck and scooped up by Harrison Bailey. He takes a bump, and a timeout is called by Forest Hills Northern. Kind of a ragged segment of play there over the last 1 or 2 minutes. Ball bouncing around, so timeout taken by the visitors. 8:15 to go in the second quarter. Just one goal on the board so far in the second. Almost dusk here in EGR. Beautiful night again, like we said. Pretty heavy breeze, but temperatures today in the high 60s, low 70s. Pretty awesome spring weather. Got to fight through March. April usually gives us a few days like this at least. Spring sports in Michigan, it's always going to be a mixed bag. So you really appreciate nights like these. So far, your goal scorers for East Grand Rapids, Gavin Buck, then Sam Zykowski, and back-to-back late in the first quarter, Stropke and Glenn Green. Answering for Forest Hills Northern in this quarter, J.P. McGinnis. And the Huskies will have the ball. Trying to come out of their own end and clear it. Jack Stewart dropped it for a moment. Stewart, and got it hacked out of his hand from behind by Winkle. Stewart picks it up again, and Stewart over the midfield stripe. Skips it over on near side. McGinnis makes the catch, and the Huskies are safely cleared and trying to strike. Cooper Clark to Butler. 8:15 to go in the second quarter. Clark cradles. And put it into the middle. Turning shot score. Forest Hills Northern has tied it. Alex Waycamp spun and put it in.
That's number 3, Alex Wycamp.
Good finish with 8:09 to go in the second quarter. That was Butler on the assist if memory serves. Back-to-back goals for the Huskies. And we're level again. I just had a feeling coming in it was going to be a close one. First of all, it's conference play. Usually is there. Second of all, both teams had similar showings against a strong Country Day team earlier in the year. And here we go. Face-off finally controlled by Northern. Andrew Ye bouncing a pass. Waycamp coming off the goal. Did eventually handle it. And Hall commands. For the boys in blue. His pass over. DeHaan dropped it momentarily. Looked to the sideline. Now he has it. DeHaan thought about a pass into the middle. Waycamp was making a move there, but this time he was covered up well by McKeegan. Clark to the middle with that pass and knocked off the stick of a Husky by Oliver Owen, or excuse me, that was Will Zykowski rather in the middle. Owen, the attacker, he wouldn't be back there, obviously, as now Clark resets for the Huskies. 7:19 to go in the quarter. Bouncing shot from the far side, skips away, and the Pioneers, I think, were closer to the end line there. They were, so that'll turn it over to EGR. The shot was taken by Clark, by the way, on the far side. Or excuse me, that was Waycamp who had faded out to the flank. From D to D and up the near sideline, Ben Rupert. Rupert, who has an assist in this game. He set up Stropke's goal back in the first quarter. No goals yet in the second quarter, though, for EGR. Been scoreless for about 6 total minutes now. covering both the end of the first and the start of the second. Chance on a wrap, and did that ball go in? The net was knocked down on top of the goalkeeper, and I don't think that's going to count. Rupert tried the sneak attack from behind. Didn't have my eye on the goal. I was watching Rupert, and then all of a sudden I saw the net topple over on keeper Elliot Skolton, and a flag is down as well. And the call is going to be a penalty against Forest Hills Northern. Delay of game is the call. I can actually hear the referee from up here. Rowan Grant again serves his second penalty of the night. They must have nabbed Grant on knocking the net off its moorings. There really are no moorings here. It's just a really heavy iron net, and you trust it'll stay planted there on what is the 10-yard line for the football field. Pioneer ball, man-up attack. Here we go. Buck in a 4-4 game. Green. Stropke. Dish it over to Rupert. Far side, Owen. Stropke at the top. Green. Gavin Buck. Fading back. Gave it to Winkle. Back to Gavin Buck. Right down in front of the net and deflected away. Green wasn't quite looking for it. And the pass didn't connect. So Forest Hills Northern will take it. And that's exactly what the Huskies needed. Down a man. Now they can run some clock. But they turn it over. Winkle with the intercept. He got interfered with from behind, though. That just stopped up the transition by Ostrander, but now put out in front and a score anyway. How about that? Buck right to the top of the crease for Oliver Owen, and Owen gets his first of the night. And it's 5-4. East Grand Rapids. Oliver Owen scores again. He had 5 against Cranbrook Kingswood last time the Pioneers were here at home on this field. And with 5:58 to go in the second quarter, EGR's nose back out in front. Quick stick from Owen. Not your traditional man-up goal, but it works either way for the guys in white. McKeegan bounced off his stick, but swooping in to save the day, Charlie Hookstra. He's got some room. Buck, shot, score! Buck from Hookstra, 2 in a matter of 10 seconds for East Grand Rapids at 6-4. And now 6 different goal scorers Buck scored the first one, so Buck's the first one to repeat tonight on either side, interestingly enough. But Hookstra gets an assist, his first point of the evening. And we face it off again. And McKeegan, this time working against Andrew Ye, and the Pioneers win it. Bennett scoops it up. Bennett off to Buck. EGR on the attack again. Buck getting whacked out high by Stewart. He makes the pass to the middle. That is Alex Collins into the game for EGR, the senior. Hookstra running right at Grant. Hookstra bouncing shot and missed it as he pulled it to the left. 5:10 to go in the quarter and the half. Winkle lowering the shoulder. Now whips it out to Gavin Buck. Collins to Hookstra. Hookstra about 10 yards from goal. Dished it behind to Winkle. Now Buck. Rupert trying to dodge it, a shot, and he scored. How about that one? 15 yards out. Rupert lets it fly, and it sailed into the top right corner. East Grand Rapids has its biggest lead of the night, 7-4. 4:47 left in the second. Rupert, 1 goal and an assist. And timeout has been taken by Forest Hills Northern.
Husky timeout.
So we went the entire first half of this second quarter with no East Grand Rapids goals. Forest Hills Northern had tied it up at 4, and now 3 goals in just over a minute for the Pioneers. The first one, man up from Owen, assisted by Winkle. The second one of those, Gavin Buck, his second of the game, assisted by Hoekstra. And you just saw Rupert there deciding to let her rip. And it was a good decision, obviously, as it found the twine. Action-packed start to OK Conference play. This game means a lot for both teams. FHM with one more win than East Grand Rapids to this point. But once you get into conference play, you're hoping to find a rhythm. And so far, so good for Coach KO and his boys. They've regained control of this game. EGR has only been held under 10 goals a couple of times this year, and their low water mark, if you will, has been 9. That's twice. The loss to Heartland on Saturday, and before spring break, that loss to Country Day, 12-9. They've lost 3 games, but by a combined 7 goals. So they've not been blown out this year by any means. They've just had a play there, play here, play there, go against them in some pivotal moments in a couple of these. Tenaciously winning the faceoff, Benny Hall. Handed it off to Cooper Clark. Out wide. That is Waycamp. Back to Clark. Harrison Bailey was involved then. Here's Clark trying to find some room. Up top against Brady Ross. McGinnis. Almost an underhanded shot. Lefty drive coming off the right wing. But Irwin methodically catches, looks, lobs it down the far sideline. Good pass there to McKeegan. He goes lateral over to Ross. Clear complete. 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. Ross on the trot. And he hooks up with Sam Zykowski. Rejoining the action. Zykowski to Ethan Fifley. I believe it's his first activity of the second quarter. Fifley with Zykowski, the exchange. About 35 yards from goal. Zykowski a turning rip, and he scored. Puts his fist up in the air. Fantastic shot from 15 yards away. Zykowski makes it 8-4. And the Pioneers' sticks have gotten hot. Later stages of this second quarter. Had to make sure that one went in. It just slipped between the body of the goalkeeper, Skolton, and the near side post. 8-4 is your score. Still a lot of time left in this second quarter. The Pioneers have 4 in a row. Their longest run of this game. They scored 7 in a row against Cranbrook. Stropke to take the draw this time. His first such assignment of the night against Yeh. They tangle. And after a little dance there, Yeh picks it up on one bounce, and his bounce feed over to Silvernail. Gives the Huskies some opportunity, but no, swatted away by Stropke. Transition attack now. Bernard, right down the middle. Bernard over to Buck. Near side, Bennett, and he just missed it. Bennett Winkle, I should say, as he put it right over the top, maybe a foot high on the turn and the shot. Pioneers keep it, though. Dylan Buck, and an opportunity. Excuse me, that was Oliver Owen. 15, not 16. He missed there. Bennett Winkle triggers it in with 3:03 to go in the second. 4 straight goals for EGR. Can they add on? Brody Weiser pulls it back out to Stropke, getting some forward momentum as Weiser pivots, passes. Green having some trouble with that one. Loose back toward midfield. And on the spot, Weiser. Good hustle to find it. Owen downshifting. Now dodging, feeding across, bouncing toward the end line. Can the Pioneers get there? They will not. Turnover, and it's Huskies ball. Stadium lights engaged. Latter stages first half. Toss toward the middle and right to the keeper, Skolton. He's now been beaten 8 times in this game. 4 in each quarter. Butler running out of space. Good pass there, and actually a wonderful job as well by McGinnis to come back to the ball. McGinnis feeding it right toward the goal, and a turning rip and up into the top of the net. Scoring is Waycamp, and that is the one that stops the bleeding for Forest Hills Northern. Waycamp. Wouldn't quite call that a quick stick play, but quick enough to get the job done. Caught the ball, made a little move, made it 8-5. 2:05 remaining in the quarter. This could be a high-scoring one today. Already 13 on the board. Highest scoring game of the season for EGR as far as both teams was 30 when they fell to Catholic Central 16-14. Big scramble for the ball right in front of the scorer's table. And the Huskies come up with it eventually. After all that, bit of a sloppy pass, but McGinnis handles that one well. J.P. McGinnis, one of the leaders for this Husky squad, clearly. Trying to drive in against Stark. Lost the ball. Stark boots it out. Heads up play there just to buy some time. Get the stoppage with 1:30 to go in the second quarter. McGinnis, lefty pass to Waycamp, who's got a couple in this game now. Waycamp backpedaling. Now he wants to drive toward goal, but he's fended off beautifully by Sam Zykowski. Also getting some help from Mo Mayer. Back toward the middle, and a flag is down out near the 40-yard line, and there's a flag down near the goal for EGR as well, so foul called on the play. Mo Mayer takes a knee on the sideline. 1 minute penalty, 1:11 to go in the second quarter. As announced over the public address, so it will essentially cover the rest of this quarter and the rest of the half. Forest Hills Northern a man up again. Just waiting for the signal to restart the clock, and off we go. Waycamp to Clark, shot it, and that was partially blocked. Skips out over the end line. McGinnis, the quick pickup. 1:04 left, clock stopped. It's winding again. McGinnis closing right toward the back of the goal, right on the edge of the crease line almost. And the Huskies working around out high. Simon Hall had his pass partially blocked, but it came right through to Waycamp on this near side. Couldn't catch it. Fortunately for him, he's got Cooper Clark there in range. McGinnis, side of the net. Waycamp, bouncing shot. Missed it. 40 seconds to go in the half. 30 seconds to go on the penalty. To Mo Mayer. McGinnis from a familiar spot on the right flank. A shot down low. Stick save made by Quinn Irwin. And it bounces free to the near wing. Out of bounds, 30 seconds remaining. Huskies keep the ball, still in a man-up attack. McGinnis, he wheels a shot toward goal, but missed it. Bounding around in the end zone there. 20 seconds left. A lot of stoppages here late. Forest Hills Northern has just 9 seconds to go on this man-up attack. They dish it out to Hall. Far side, shot blocked in the middle, came right to a Husky though, and a save made off the tip of the stick of Irwin. Simon Hall, or excuse me, that was Ike DeHaan rather. Thought he had a goal staring him in the face. He could not beat Irwin. 6 seconds left. The Pioneers are back to full strength. 4 seconds, now 3, and a shot score. How about that? DeHaan cutting in, took the pass from McGinnis, whipped it into the upper reaches of the net. It's 8-6 with just 2 seconds to go before halftime. Not a man-up goal, but it came right after that sequence. McGinnis gets the assist. DeHaan second of the game. 14 goals on the board in this half, and that's most likely going to do it as the Huskies add on 4 more in this quarter, just like the Pioneers did. So it was an 8-4 lead. It's going to be 8-6 at the half as the clock starts. Time runs out. It's a no contest on the faceoff. Both teams content to let it run out and head off to their respective locker rooms. Here at Memorial Field, 8-6 East Grand Rapids over Forest Hills Northern. Stay with us tonight on YouTube. Back for the second half after a 10-minute break. Apologies for the delay. We've got some rain here. Thought I said we were in the clear tonight weather-wise. Apparently not. 8-6 East Grand Rapids. Third quarter has begun. 5 seconds into it. We'll see if we can, at some point, reopen the window. But as for right now, I might have to contend with some rain in the way. Winkle has the ball. The Pioneers are waiting for the go-ahead. Wouldn't quite call it light rain, maybe more into the moderate category. Winkle leaned the shoulder into Bailey and back out top. Collins making a run for it, and his shot just missed the top left corner. That ball curved in the air as he let it go on the run, but unfortunately for him, curved away from the goal, not toward it. Rupert. He's got an assist tonight. Rupert fell down, lost control of the ball. And the Huskies and Simon Hall take control for a moment, and they turn it over into the middle. Owen, bouncing shot, hit the crossbar. Set up by Winkle. Ball on the turf. And Collins comes out of the pack with it. Collins the pass, forcing his man to leap up and grab it, and a shot didn't get through from Hoekstra. Toward the sideline. Winkle first to it. Pioneers keep the ball. 10:49 left in the third quarter. No goals yet in this quarter. Maybe not for long. There's a score on a dump shot along the ground by Gavin Buck. And that's the hat trick for him. Buck back on track offensively tonight. Pioneers lead by 3 again. 9-6. 10:42 left in the third. And Charlie Hoekstra picks up the helper. His second assist of the night. So 3 goals for Buck, 2 for Sam Zykowski, and then 3 other single goal scorers, or 4 other single goal scorers for East Grand Rapids, as they raise their total to 9. Pioneers by 3. From the faceoff, Owen Butler commands it for Forest Hills Northern. 10:29 to go in the third quarter. And Butler moves into the attacking end. Down to our left. The Huskies trying to win 2 in a row. They beat DeWitt 20-3 late last week. DeHaan, powerful player, circling the crease. DeHaan at the side of the net. 1v1 there momentarily with Brady Ross. And whistle and a foul called. Ross actually had his mouth guard fly out as he got hammered there by DeHaan, and DeHaan called for the penalty. Oh, no, excuse me, he is not called for the penalty. He is just called for the foul, so doesn't affect the manpower on the field. The Pioneers throw a wild pass through the middle. That was McKeegan trying to go over his shoulder. A little behind the head action with that one, but it's intercepted by the Huskies and Simon Hall. Near wing Clark running to it, dropped it, picked it back up. 9:26 to go. Now it's become downright blustery out there. Still rather warm. Toward the goal, and a close range shot by the Huskies went bouncing wide. That was McCauley. He hasn't had the ball in a long time, not since the first quarter. And the shot skips out to the far side. The Pioneers were closer to the sideline when it went out. They'll get control. Quinn Irwin feeding it up the middle. Stropke running to the near side from the far. Stropke through midfield. Makes his man turn. That's Cooper Clark, and Stropke completes the clear for EGR. 3 minutes in to the third quarter. Oh, that pass got away from Buck, and he can't chase it down on the far side. The Huskies pushing it up, Hall, and dropped all the way back to Butler. Cooper Clark, a shot, and he scored. He beat Irwin Lowe, 9-7.
Number 2, Cooper Clark for the Huskies.
Clark scores his first of the night.
East Grand Rapids 9, Huskies 7, 8:38 left.
8:38 to play in the third quarter. Well, Clark's had some attempts. He's had some looks. He finally gets one to go for a 9-7 game. From the center circle we go again for the 17th time tonight. Actually 18th, counting the opening draw in each of the first two halves. A lot of goals on the board, long way to go too. Nothing's decided, not even close. So the Pioneers have to keep their intensity level up. You know the Huskies going to push till the end here. They're well within range, but a pass missed by Waycamp in the middle. And the Pioneers pick up that ground ball. Here's Ruben Yakiri. Shifting it to the near side. And Wiener connecting with Cutting Bernard. Rogan Bernard had it knocked out of his stick. And what a move by Stropke. Sleight of hand to pick that one up on full flight. And Stropke gets in over the line and backs out. Green, well, he had Weiser making a cut. Didn't think he could thread it through, though, so the Pioneers try the left flank. Stropke, number 33, and White, shot scored. So he made a move toward the goal, skipped it in. 7:26 left in the third, and Stropke's got another one. His second goal of the night. EGR is into double digits for the 5th time in 7 games. Like I said, the only time they haven't made it to 10, they've gotten to 9. And we can hear that wind battering the rain against the press box window. Getting a little bit nasty out. Thought we would beat the rain, but it blew in a little too fast. Chopped along the ground by Owen. He couldn't leave the box. Now Owen moves out there. So the Pioneers avoid the offside, and Will Zykowski with the long stick on the back pedal. Tried to toss it to the far wing. It got knocked down. They battle for it there. It's about a 10-man scrum for it, and eventually it comes to Jack Stewart of Forest Hills Northern. To the middle, McCauley. Big 23. Pushed out toward the far reaches of the box by Wiener. And that forces the Huskies to reset. 6:46 left in the third. Cooper Clark. He scored the most recent Huskies goal, a dodge move, and a shot scored. Waycamp from the outside. Skipped it by Irwin. The team's exchanging goals. It's back to a 2-goal margin again, 10-8. So Butler gets on the board. His first goal, but he had an assist way back in the first quarter. Another multi-point performer tonight. And 2 goals apiece in this third quarter. Whistle sounds on the face-off. Violation against Forest Hills Northern. Referee pointed the wrong way initially. He was pointing back toward the EGR goal. He meant to point down to our right. Sam Zykowski trying to get past DeHaan. DeHaan smacks it out of his stick, but Zykowski picks it back up on the move. Holding on to that stick with one hand. High up near the basket, and that helps him control play. Buck, that's Dylan Buck, giving it back to Sam Zykowski with a running start. Green in a shooting position there. Instead fed it over to Zykowski. Owen. About 10 yards from goal, meandering, passing. It went off at Dylan Buck. It's loose there in front of the crease, and the Huskies pick it up, and a penalty flag is down. Someone was wiped out in front. I just caught it out of the corner of my eye as it appeared that Bailey came out of the pack with the ball. And the foul called against Grant. That's his third penalty of this game. It's like a cross check was whistled there. 5:47 to go. Man up attack for the Pioneers. Again, leading by 2. They've led by 3. A couple of times led by 4 once in this game. That was 8-4 late in the first half. Turned over, though, or at least it might be. Just at the edge of the center circle. Mayer tried to shovel it and did. Good job to get it over to Buck and Gavin Buck. Pass to Dylan Buck toward the middle. A shot and a score. A man-up goal. East Grand Rapids. Sam Zykowski celebrates. It's 11-8. Hat-trick goal for him.
That's number 20, Sam Zykowski. Great assist by number 16.
Dylan Buck on the assist. And if you give secondary assists, if you did give secondary assists in lacrosse, one would also go to the other Buck, Gavin Buck. It was right up the gut with that passing play. Gavin to Dylan, and then right served up to Sam Zykowski with 5:20 left in the third quarter. Second man-up goal of the game for East Grand Rapids. It is 11-8. Let me correct the scoreboard there in front of you on your device screen. So back to a 3-goal lead. And a chance again for Winkle. Picked it up behind the net. Winkle tried to stuff it in, and he did. Bennett Winkle emerges out the far side and dumps it under the body of Elliott Skolton. 5:02 left in the third. Pioneers 12, Forest Hills Northern 8. Winkle's first goal to go with a couple of assists. And the Pioneers dreaming of pulling away here. Their second 4-goal lead of the game. But 5 minutes to go in the third, and still 12 minutes, obviously, after that in the fourth quarter. The rain showing no signs of stopping. And a face-off violation will give possession to the Huskies. Forest Hills Northern has alternated wins and losses in their last 5 games. They started with 2 straight wins. And then from there, loss, win, loss, win. EGR won 2 in a row as well to start. But they've dropped 3 of their last 4. So this could be a statement type of a performance here. Pass toward the middle, and it was off of Waycamp's stick. And he was knocked down hard in front of the crease. And a foul called against East Grand Rapids as a result of that. Waycamp couldn't handle that pass. Clock running, 4.5 to go in the third quarter. We've seen this before from McCauley. McCauley got by Wiener. He's right there, and he scores. EGR couldn't stop the drive from McCauley. And not a lot of an opportunity for Quinn Irwin to make a save. In that one-on-one situation, we're back to a 3-goal game. 12-9. So Forest Hills Northern stays in touch. This time it's McCauley. That's his first of the night. Definitely unassisted there. He had the ball for a solid 10 seconds. DeHaan, similar in frame to McCauley. They like to lean in, use their body mass to push back against the EGR defenders. Mayer couldn't defend there against DeHaan. His pass at the backside of the crossbar and deflected out. Good break for EGR as McCauley was flashing open, I thought, on this near wing. Instead, East Grand Rapids gets full possession, and Mo Mayer triggers it back in. 4:06 left in the third quarter. 12-9 East Grand Rapids. It was 8-6 at the half. So EGR's got 4 on the board in this quarter. The Huskies have 3. Sam Zykowski protecting and backing away from pressure. Hoekstra, the returning all-conference performer. To the far corner, and Gavin Buck, Winkle. Pioneers pretty far from goal here, maybe trying to create some space. Winkle, cutting to the hash marks or near them. Pushed it back to Hoekstra. And number 11 in white. Worked to the outside, now to the inside. Couldn't dodge by, but here's a shot on a full-blooded release by Ben Rupert. But he missed it over the net. 3:13 left in the third. Skipping pass. Owen collects it on second attempt. Owen wanted to line it up for a shot. Instead, he passed it at the last second. Bounced free into the crease. And there is the goalkeeper, Skolton, to give it away at midfield. Right back to the Pioneers. They say thank you very much as Hoekstra runs right through a couple of Huskies defenders. Hoekstra has a man open in the middle. One more pass. And Buck couldn't shoot it. Buck backs out. Hits Rupert. That, for a moment, was Collins flashing open. Yeah, it was Alex Collins, number 5. And here is Collins, driving, firing, and missed it short side. 2:29 remaining in the third. Owen regathers for East Grand Rapids. Reaching up to snare that pass. Hoekstra. Hoekstra 10 yards from goal. Slows to a trot, working against Butler. Hoekstra, the shot, that hit the pipe. Bouncing around wildly. And the Huskies have control. It's Grant. Turned it over. Gave it right to Collins. He got smashed there. Easy call from the official. Ooh, boy. Collins took one for the team. As he went up, he was exposed to the hit, and he did get blasted. Again, guess who? Grant. 4th time today a flag's been thrown on Rowan Grant. We'll listen for how long that penalty is going to last. Still 12-9 EGR, 2:02 left in the third. Didn't catch it from the PA how long it'll be, but it is a man-up attack for East. I'm Matt Gajtka. Thank you for watching. High-scoring game today. OK conference opener for both sides. Man-up offense out there for EGR. Whiffing on the shot from the far side, Gavin Buck. I think it got blocked. But the keeper, Skolton, turns it back over to East Grand Rapids. Second time he's done that in this sequence. And was that a foul call or an offside call against EGR? Looks like it was a violation, not a foul. So the ball turns over to Forest Hills Northern, unfortunately, with 1:45 to go in the quarter. The possession will come at midfield. Ike DeHaan starting the action again. 1:40 left. Again, the Huskies still down a man. Cooper Clark, wouldn't be surprised if they play a little bit passive here on the attack. Clark comes to a near stop. 10 yards behind the Pioneers' goal. Now he thinks about a move to the middle. Instead, just dropped it off to DeHaan. Near sideline. 1:17 to go in the third quarter. Grant still biding his time in the penalty box area. And just holding it, Clark. They're in the attacking end. All they got to do is just try to make a cursory attempt to move toward goal. And it's all legal. Clark hits his man, cutting in. Turning shot, save with the stick. Right into the voluminous basket there of Quinn Irwin. That was DeHaan who took that shot. Great pass, finding him in the middle. And he checks out, does DeHaan, as the Pioneers try to get going again. But Grant is back into action. And timeout called by EGR, with Mayer having some trouble with the ball in front of his own goal. 35 seconds to go in the third quarter. That stops play there. 4 goals for East Grand Rapids in this quarter, 3 for Forest Hills Northern. Gavin Buck has picked up the hat trick in this quarter. Owen Stropke has his second goal of the night. And Sam Zykowski has 3 as well. We had 6 combined goals in the first quarter. It was 4-2 East Grand Rapids at that point. 8 goals combined in the second, 4 for each side. 8-6 at the half. It's 12-9 now, so EGR just gradually trying to pull away, still holding the Huskies at arm's length. Looks like once again they will lead by multiple goals at the break, barring something rather drastic on the offensive side for Forest Hills Northern, considering that EGR is going to have the ball after this timeout once we get restarted. There you heard the horn signaling the end of a minute. Timeout's over. It appears the rain has lightened. We might be able to open up the windows for the fourth quarter again. Get you a clearer view of the action in that case. So a little evening shower on Reed's Lake. Mayer has the ball as the clock winds. Mayer giving it up ahead. McKeegan. Quick toss off to Weiser. Weiser with 28 seconds. Weiser had a step on his man. That was Benny Hall, but decided to pull it back out. We've seen Benny Hall at the face-off a lot of times today, especially early. Weiser with 14 seconds. Clears it across. Oliver Owen with 10. Owen on the outside against DeHaan. Owen has a step. Owen right to the doorstep. Bounced it off the crossbar. Hopping loose. 2 seconds to go in the quarter. Still free, and the Pioneers won't be able to get another shot off before the horn blasts. 12-9. East Grand Rapids after 3. We'll take a short break. Bring it back for the fourth. Okay, action hot and heavy tonight from Memorial Field. Stay with us.
To the third quarter, the legendary Pete Rupert Tech Time Trivia. 10th question, how many total miles of streets are located within the city of East Grand Rapids? Again, how many total miles of streets are located within the city of East Grand Rapids? A, 13, B, 28, C, 34,
Back to live action. East Grand Rapids 12, Forest Hills Northern 9 in the OK opener here at Memorial Field. The rain has stopped. Still breezy. A little bit cooler after all that. I'm sure the athletes enjoy that. They're putting in a shift tonight. It's been high intensity this evening. A lot of goals on the board, obviously. 21 in total. The Huskies down 3. Start the fourth quarter with the ball. DeHaan closely checked by Ruben Yakiri. A shot from deep and scores. Forest Hills Northern gets another one back to cut it again to a 2-goal margin. Cooper Clark scores again.
11:34 left in the game. East Grand Rapids 12, Huskies 10.
So for Clark, that's his second goal of the night. Ball got moved around to him. And Clark decided to pull the trigger, and he was rewarded with the Huskies' 10th goal of the evening. But the Pioneers start with possession. No, maybe they don't. Stropke was running in the clear after taking that draw. And this is going to be whistled and taken back. The referee chatting it over with Charlie Hoekstra. He was called for a foul of some sort, or was he? Man up attack. Okay, it will be a penalty situation. So it wasn't a foul against East Grand Rapids. It was a foul against Andrew Ye of Forest Hills Northern. So a slash called, and I think the explanation to Stropke was that play was stopped. He was wondering why it couldn't continue there. Man up attack, though. Winkle, Gavin Buck, Collins. To the far side, Rupert. Now around the horn, back to Winkle. Buck, pump fake, now back over to Winkle. Close quarters. Huskies staying tight. Rupert, and he rips it off of, I think, Stropke. It bounces away behind the end line. Pivotal moment in this game, man up situation. Pioneers obviously feel like they should score one here. Trying to get their lead back to 3. Owen, Rupert, Collins, shot, Buck, it sneaks in. Gavin Buck, man up goal. 13-10, 10:47 left in the fourth. Collins the assist. Gavin Buck is 4th of the night. First EGR goal of the fourth quarter. Restores the 3-goal lead. 3rd man-up goal of the evening. $13 now on the board. EGR's high performance for scoring in a game this season is 16 at Mona Shores when they doubled up the Sailors. Look at a long stick there by Jack Bennett. Pulling it into the attacking end. Dropped it back. Bernard heard that there was a man on, so he'll pull it out to midfield. Simon Hall was trying to spook him from behind there, coming off the bench. Good communication, though, from the Pioneers, letting him know. Owen, well, he was trying to drive through for a shot, and it had it swatted away. But Sam Zykowski on there for the ground ball pickup. Zykowski to Dylan Buck. Wanted to go back to Owen. Skipped away from him. Will he be able to scoop it up? He will. Right out at midfield. Pass over to Zykowski. Took a smack there, but he keeps on going. Zykowski left his man in the dust on a planted foot and a shot, and it was deflected out over the end line. The keeper, Skolton, tried to beat Winkle to the ball, but no sale. Winkle distributes on over to Owen. 9:42 left in the fourth quarter. Ethan Fifley, right-handed shooting. Fifley, the midfielder, try to feed a pass through. It bounces around. Buck in close. Oh, my. Missing it was Winkle, just barely outside the post, and he couldn't get to the end line in time to win possession. So Winkle tried the quick stick. He was just outside the crease, scooped it along the ground, and just missed. That close to a 14-10 lead, and still it remains a 3-goal lead for East Grand Rapids. The Huskies with ticking down close to 9 minutes to go in regulation time. Butler completes the clear. Now he settles it. Clark facing up against Zykowski. Clark loaded it up. Butler pivoting, floating out high. Butler, bounce shot, and he scored. He got it by the frustrated Quinn Irwin, who thought he had it measured, but it took a nasty hop with some topspin up over his right shoulder. 13-11. Strong shot, strong goal. So Clark connects again. 8:51 to go. Looks like that's McKeegan getting the call at the faceoff against Benny Hall. It's just how he started this game. And Benny Hall gets the benefit of the call at midfield. Andrew Ye into the box. Swings it over. Simon Hall. Cooper Clark. 8:47 remaining. 2-goal lead for East Grand Rapids, 13-11. Early stages, fourth quarter. DeHaan thinking about another strong move to the goal. DeHaan, he's going to get right to the doorstep, and he stuffs it in. No goal, crease violation. That's a big call. He was right on the lip of the yellow line when he let that shot go. Apparently he was stepping on it when he let the shot go. A deep pass from Quinn Irwin, bounced off of Stewart, right to the Pioneers. Gavin Buck twisting away from pressure. Dished it rearward onto Hoekstra. Leaned in, and a little lob off to Ben Rupert. Give it right back to Hoekstra. Hoekstra driving. Charlie Hoekstra, and knocked down. No call made, and it bounced into the keeper's possession. Skolton. A couple of close calls at both nets. Skolton low pass. Stewart handles it, but the subsequent delivery is intercepted. Will Zykowski to the near side. Clear complete. Pioneers can regather it and take a breath as Hoekstra fed it over to Collins, far sideline, now behind the goal. Winkle to Gavin Buck. Rupert has it in a passing position, and he dished it on over to Collins. Collins back to Hoekstra. 10 yards from goal. He shoots and he scores. Charlie Hoekstra, low bouncer. That finds the twine. 7:16 to go in the fourth. It's 14-11. Hoekstra from Collins. Collins' second assist of the quarter. And we continue to play the give and take game. The biggest lead for EGR, they've had a couple of 4-goal leads. It's a 3-goal lead now. And Benny Hall takes control of the faceoff against McKeegan. McKeegan hustling back. Locked arms with Hall for a second there. Play allowed to continue on. 7 minutes to go in regulation. Simon Hall. To DeHaan. Coming late toward it. Clark. Clark with a couple goals in this game. Wide shot there. Fortunate that McCauley was closer to it. It was a shot kind of early in the sequence. It felt like, at least, for Forest Hills Northern compared to their usual attack. But they get a second chance. Clark had it flicked away from his stick, but picked up by the Huskies. Waycamp's dish back. Clark, sliding play to recontrol with one hand. McKeegan was right there in his face, too. 6.5 to go in the fourth. McGinnis twirling and cradling the ball from behind the net against Stark. McGinnis couldn't get it through. He tried to make a pass, and it bounced all the way beyond the reach of Simon Hall. Hall working with it. Comes in over the sideline. Hall battling against Will Zykowski. Hall instead passes to Clark. Clark to the middle, out high. Shot saved by Quinn Irwin, and he grabs it in his crease. The drive from Waycamp was knocked down there. Yakiri, his feet into the middle. Hack and whack at it. Do the Pioneers. DeHaan for Forest Hills Northern takes a swat and turns it over to Will Zykowski. Long-range pass over the head, though, of Gavin Buck as the rain starts again. Not quite as hard as before, but has begun again. 5:33 left in the fourth. Still 14-11 East Grand Rapids. I'm Matt Gajtka. This is our YouTube presentation of East Grand Rapids 2024 Boys Lacrosse. Thank you for joining us. Our next broadcast next Tuesday against Granville, another OK foe here at the stadium. Memorial Field. Turnover. Good job by the Pioneers to close in on Butler and force him to cough it up. Gavin Buck, 4 goals in this game, looking for 5. He's got it. And the Pioneers have a 4-goal lead again, 15-11.
Goal by number 10, Gavin Buck, unassisted, his 5th of the night.
Beautiful shot, Gavin Buck. Once he pulled free, you knew he was going to let it go on frame. 5:09 remaining in the fourth quarter. And that one felt massive. After a close call at the other end. We've had a Forest Hills Northern goal overturned as well in this quarter on a crease violation. And now the Huskies find themselves down as far as they've been all night long. Timeout. Called by the Huskies. We get close to 9 o'clock here. We started about 20 minutes late. 7:20 or so was the opening face-off of tonight's game. Both teams get a chance to talk things over. So 15 on the board for EGR, just one shy of their season high. This is their second highest total of the year on the offensive side. They've given up 11. So that's the 4th time this year they have allowed double digits. This could be the first time they win when allowing double digits this year. That breeze turns into a wind off the lake. Rain has stopped again, though. Just a handful of minutes to go. 5:09 left in the fourth. Not a huge crowd here tonight. A lot of you are watching at home live. Glad to hear that. Our numbers are up from the opening game, so yeah, get the word out. We're going to have at least 3 more home games in the regular season on the air. Playoffs pending, of course. But unlike in the playoffs, regular season's free to watch on YouTube. Stropke chips it forward to himself. Creative little win there at the face-off circle. Stropke to the corner. And the Pioneers don't have to be in any kind of hurry right now with 4:50 to go. Stropke right out in front. Winkle dumps it in. Winkle from Stropke, 16-11, and the Pioneers have their first 5-goal lead of the game. They have finally stretched it out to a handful. Winkle's second goal, both coming here in the second half. Owen Stropke earns an assist to go with a couple of goals for him. 4:46 left. And finally some breathing room for East Grand Rapids tonight. Off the tie-up, McKeegan versus Benny Hall. McKeegan got handcuffed by that, then he got wiped out at the center circle. And the foul called against Forest Hills Northern, as you might expect there. No penalty call, just the foul. As the Pioneers execute some substitutions into the game, Dylan Buck. Sam Zykowski gets to the box. Left it there for Brody Weiser. And Weiser on the drive. The dish. Zykowski's shot blocked. Out high. Deflected. Out over the end line. Winkle. 4:18 to go in the fourth. He wants to get the attack going again. Winkle just scored to make it a 5-goal spread for East Grand Rapids. In good shape. But they lose control here. And the Huskies on the run. It's Clark, I believe. Clark making the pass, but behind McCauley. Unforced error from Cooper Clark. He's been effective tonight, but in that case, just misfired. Made the wrong decision. 4 minutes to go. And here come the Pioneers again. Sam Zykowski, a shot, and a stick save made by Skolton, bouncing around right in front of the crease. Stewart on the scoop-up move. Or pardon, that's Harrison Bailey, I should say. Bailey, the defender. Made the pass off. Sam Bredoweg gets his first touch, number 99 in blue. And he quickly checks out. McGinnis, he hasn't had a lot of the ball lately. J.P. McGinnis. He's been productive tonight. But the Huskies look like they just might not have enough offense to keep up with the Pioneers this evening. Pushed up into the air by Weiser. Attempting to collect that on the move, Luke Stark, and he eventually will. Stark down the right sideline. 3 minutes to go in regulation time. Winkle. Maybe trying for one more to put the capper on it. Winkle's pass. Finding Gavin Buck. Already 5 goals in this game, but it's pushed off his stick by Jack Stewart. Going down in a heap was Stark. Play continues on. Right there at the midfield line. Sam Zykowski had that ball in front of him. About waist height. Knocked off his stick. Foul called against Forest Hills Northern. Weiser out wide to Oliver Owen. Owen just the 1 goal in this game. Here's a cut-in move, and he whipped it just wide of the left post. .2:27 remaining. Winkle gets the clock running. He beats Bailey out of the corner, then steps back, does Bennett Winkle. Collins, far wing, Hoekstra. Rupert buries it again. Ben Rupert, we've seen that before tonight. Another blistering shot high into the net, 2:11 to go. And East Grand Rapids has its highest offensive output of the season. They lead at 17-11 over Forest Hills Northern.
2:11 left in the game. East Grand Rapids up 17 over the Huskies at 11.
So both of Rupert's goals look just like that. Where it's just him against the keeper, and he wins it. Wins that battle. 4 goals in a row for East Grand Rapids. That's the second time tonight they've done that. Once in the first half, once here in the second half. McKeegan. Maybe he wants to get a goal on the board. He was dispossessed, though. McKeegan trying to rake it back to himself. But it's Stewart for Forest Hills Northern. Under 2 to go in regulation time. Stewart into the clear. Into the box, Stewart against Sam Zykowski, and he lobbed a shot, just kind of falling toward net. Let her rip, but missed. Simon Hall challenging against Rapp. Hall into the middle, right toward the crease, and he thinks he was fouled. I believe that is accurate. A couple of flags down. One here, one over there by the net. 1:28 left.
East Grand Rapids penalty, 30 seconds.
30-second penalty against EGR's Ruben Yakiri. So a man-up situation with 1:28 to play. Waiting for the restart. Here we go. Wakehamp to the middle. Here's a shot. Save made by Quinn Irwin. Cooper Clark from nearly point blank, but he was denied. And the Pioneers trying to just survive, run some clock. Losing it at midfield was Will Zykowski. Cooper Clark pivoting back. Dishing toward the middle. DeHaan scored a couple times tonight. DeHaan off to McGinnis. Wakamp a shot. Oh, weakened on the way, but a win in. Right between the legs, I think, of Irwin. 17-12, 56 seconds to go. And just after the penalty expired, so not a man-up goal for Wakamp in Forest Hills Northern. Again, 56 seconds to play. That's just going to be a cosmetic goal, if you will, for the Huskies. So it looks like they're going to come up empty tonight at East Grand Rapids. 17-12. EGR's just got to not make any glaring errors, and they'll be home free for their 4th win of the season. And Stropke again goes straight forward with that. He's got that down to a bit of a science here tonight, Owen Stropke. Oh, he got smacked. Stick goes flying. Stropke got hammered on the shoulder. No foul called. Out of the pack with the ball. Right up the middle comes Harrison Bailey. Bailey near side turned it over. Coughed up the pass. The defender threw it away to Luke Stark. 30 seconds left. And we're going back the other way, it looks like. Wait to hear what the official has to say. We're right above midfield, so we can usually hear the official's call. It's a 1-minute penalty for somebody. With 30 seconds left, Winkle is the guilty man for EGR. Another man-up situation for Forest Hills Northern. Down by 5. Pulling the trigger, Irwin makes the save on Hall's drive, and Irwin going deep down the middle. Bit of a Hail Mary look to that one, and it ends up in the stick of the other goaltender. Elliot Skolton made the pass ahead. Cooper Clark, 5 seconds to go in the game. Clark, desperation shot, deflected on the way from behind the goal. Time runs out. Pioneers win. Pioneers win. They get it done on their home field, 17-12. Gavin Buck scores 5 times, but really it was a diverse attack and a prolific attack for East Grand Rapids, as they end up with 5 more here in the 4th quarter, outpacing the Huskies, dropping the Huskies to 4-3. That's the same record that the Pioneers now have, 4-3, as they start 1-0 in OK Conference Tier 1 play, and they prepare to host Forest Hills Eastern. The Hawks making a trip in here in a couple of days' time, but a nice job to begin league action for Coach KO and his squad. Very consistent offense, 4 goals in the first quarter, 4 in the second, 4 in the third, and 5 here in the 4th. For the Huskies, they add 3 more here in the 4th, but just not enough, like I said. Not enough offense to keep pace for the Pioneers, who set a new season high in goals scored. Thank you again for watching on YouTube tonight. Our second broadcast, as had some rain here. We had to close the windows. Sorry for the lack of visibility there during the 3rd quarter, but it cleared up here for the 4th for the most part, and hoping for more of the same for our next broadcast, which will be next Tuesday against Granville here at Memorial Field. Hope you can join us then. Once again, for Reed and McIntosh and Scott Stropke, I'm Matt Gajtka saying good night, God bless. We'll talk to you next time from here.